While I'm waiting for our movie producer Bob Frizzell to come back to tell you about the reality game, I want to tell you what the reality game is not. The reality game is nothing to do with um, sometimes I change hats because one hat runs out of gas. The reality game has got nothing to do with. No, I don't think these hats are going to talk. Let's talk about something other than the reality game. Well, just that somebody wants to know what the reality game is. Well, the reality game is two channels. On Instagram, it's Burroughs Bobby, and on YouTube, it's Infinite Bob 99. And I make videos about whatever's on my mind at the time. And I mean, if Bob Frizzell comes on, he talks about how to raise your consciousness and Earth Ascension. But, a lot of other things I talk about might not have anything to do with Earth Ascension. They might have to do with something else. It's just Bob likes to have a general name for the channels. And, we already created the channels and gave them those names. And then Bob Frizzell came along later and he decided he was going to call it all the reality game. I think he wants to make an actual movie because sometimes he calls it the reality game movie. And he hasn't made it so far. Bob Frizzell is one of the characters on this channel, and I'm a character actor. So I play characters. Most of the time I play me, but I have a different name. But there are times when I change my accent and I have different subjects, and some of those characters come on from time to time. Pretty much I have to do videos all the time. It's just I get antsy if I don't make a video. If I'm just, it's like just antsy. You know what antsy is? It's just like got too much energy and it's got to come out somehow, so I just turn on the phone and talk. It's supposed to be somewhat comic, but not always. Sometimes it's very serious. I change hats quite a bit. And it's not just me participating in it, because you just see me on camera, but I have a whole staff that is involved with production of the reality game. And they're my, let's just say they're my imaginary friends. To you, they're imaginary, and I have to call them something. But to me, they're not imaginary at all. They're real. And I talk to them via telepathy and telekinesis. Most of them live on a space station, lost in space. Some of them went off and they hijacked a tall ship, a sailing ship, a pirate ship, and they're off in the Caribbean. I hate to tell you that because people think, well, you just watched that Pirates of the Caribbean movie. No, I never watched it. But one of the characters that was on the spaceship left and went time traveled and found himself a tall ship, and he and the other elves, because they're elves, they took over the ship, and they're sailing somewhere at about 1525. I don't know. Maybe I don't need a hat anymore. I need a haircut. This haircut lasted pretty good, This is like 2 months since I've had a haircut, and, even the sides, it's not bad. Should be a lesson for you. If you get a haircut, get it very short. I know one person, a very strange thing happened. I was watching videos 2 years ago, and this person had hair about my length, and he came across as a fag. Like the voice was faggy, the movements of the hands and everything were faggy. 2 years later, this person grew their hair very long, like down to their shoulder. Originally, the hair was kind of up like this, like Ed Grimley. I don't know if you remember Martin Short, the comic, but he had hair like this, and it was short, and he was very gay. 2 years later, his hair is long down to the shoulders, and it's parted in the middle. This hair is not long enough. And when you watch the videos of this particular man now, he lost the lisp. You know, gay people that have got, lispy. You know what a lisp is? It's a speech impediment. It means you're saying, "Hello, guys, how are you? Simply celebrating over a couple of glasses of wine." But now, this person, who sure looked queer 2 years ago, looks not queer at all. So is it something in your hair, if you change your hair, that somehow your whole personality changes? For this person, I'm going to tell you that's what it certainly appears to be. Are you concerned that, if someone who was gay 2 years ago becomes straight? And kind of like John Wayne, the actor who was always rough and tough and didn't take shit from anybody in Westerns. Because if you were, 2 years ago straight and like John Wayne, maybe there's a change in your personality coming up and you're going to go the other way. Don't forget the lisp.